More music, more of the time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, we're back again.
And we ain't stopping.
You guys have the best music.
Turn it up!
The best music.
Rock and roll. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and Angie Moon is back. Today we're going to take a look at the band The Pretty Things. We're looking at that period, 1964 to 1970. We are live, and we want to hear from you in the chat. Let's do it.
Giving you what you paid for. Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Hey, everybody. Hopefully there's someone here. Oh, there's 2 people watching. It's early. I have never done a show this early in the day, but, it's fine.
I mean, there's no way to start a Sunday morning like listening to classic rock.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Angie Moon's with us. So hopefully more people will tune in because we usually like to keep this interactive, Angie, when we do these live shows. But that's all right. It's fine. Angie, how are you? Nice to see you.
Doing very well. How about you?
I'm good. So, hey, Angie's been on the show several times. We're trying to we did a show on the Small Faces the last time, and I wanted to start doing these shows live so we can play some music, turn people on to stuff. And this is kind of like the maiden voyage. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about the Pretty Things, because all we're trying to do is turn you on to stuff, play some songs. We're going to go through that period. Now it says 1965 to 70 at the top, but the reason it says that is because it's a little bit of it's kind of murky, because really Rosalyn was the first single and it came out in 64, but the EP came out in 65. And when I was doing research for it, Angie, it was kind of, it could be 64, could be 65, but it's kind of like that. So anyway, the band we're looking at tonight, The Pretty Things, started out in the early 60s, kind of R&B. They moved into psychedelia later. They've had commercial struggles. They never really made it here in the States. So this is like one of those bands I like to cover. And they didn't have any success in the UK either.
Very little. And I think part of it is because they were not allowed on Ready, Steady, Go, because the Rolling Stones got in the producer's ears or something like that and said, don't put these guys on.
Is it because... Well, why would they? I wonder why.
I think there was probably some sort of rivalry between them. And I think one of the members almost was in the band.
Well, Dick Taylor was a founding member of the Stones. You think there could have been
a beef there, maybe.
Well, if you think 1964, 65, of course, the Rolling Stones had a lot more success, but did they have so much success in 64? It's pretty much the Beatles in that, period. Mm-hmm. But we're looking anyway.
I think they were just a bit rougher around the edges than the Rolling Stones, and they didn't have the popularity that the Stones had, despite, being a great act on stage. Like Phil May was a great front man, definitely had a great stage presence, definitely stood out with his very long hair. I think it might have been a bit too wild and crazy for that time, possibly, because he did have the longest hair in rock music at that time.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, they out of all these British invasion bands, I wish The Pretty Things got more notoriety, because I really do. I love their whole catalog. So if you look at, we're going to play some songs. So we're going to go an hour. Like I said, it's just we're trying to turn you on to stuff. So let's just start out with this is their first single that came out. So it's very R&B. It's very much like what everybody else was doing during that period. Of course, if you're thinking 64, 65, by 65, the Beatles were already way far ahead as far as I'm concerned. So the Pretty Things and probably the Stones were still doing this type of R&B kind of stuff. So let's play the first single, Rosalyn. It's actually from 64, late 64. So let's play it, and then we'll circle back around.
Every
I would call the proto-punk, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a banger right there. And it's no wonder that David Bowie covered that one. And he listed Phil May in his contacts book as God. No wonder.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of energy to it. Evidently, this got to number 41 in the UK. It didn't do anything here. I'm not even sure this got a release here in the States, but
Probably not.
you have to you have to agree that there is a certain energy to it. It's right up. It's kind of like the Rolling Stones. There's always been that comparison to them. Maybe that's why they tried to ban them on Ready, Steady, Go. I don't.
Yeah, because I think like the Rolling Stones, if you remember like the Rock and Roll Circus, they wanted to pull that because of the Who upstaging them, and they might have been afraid of the Pretties doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might be a controversial opinion. I mean, as much as I like the Rolling Stones, I think, yeah, that was definitely one of the issues with them. Also, Don't Bring Me Down was the second single. And one thing that I really did like in that, and there's a little trademark that Phil May sometimes did in live performances, is that he would change the pronouns mid-song. So he'd be singing about liking guys and girls, like he'd be singing about both. That is definitely something that was quite controversial at that time because it was still illegal to be gay in 1964 in the UK and also in the US.
Yeah, because wasn't Phil bisexual?
Yes.
I don't think anybody knew that at the time, but
yeah, like he definitely dated men at that time. He dated women. Like he was married to a woman, and then at the end of his life, he did have a boyfriend.
but still, the Phil May. See, he's like one of those underrated singers. I think because I think the power, and we're gonna play some more tracks, ladies and gentlemen. So hold tight, but you will just see.
This also reminds me of Yardbirds and then very
Yes.
early Who. I'm even getting a bit of
Yes.
early Who from that. And it's a very strong start for these guys, very promising. And I wish that more people had known about it because this is very, very good.
Yeah,
Like I love the Bo Diddley appreciation in there. Yeah, like that's one thing I love about British rock and roll is how much more appreciation they had for the OG American R&B stars compared to the American rock stars.
Yeah, 100%. So anyway, that was the first single. We're not going through every track, but their debut album came out in 1965. Reached number 6 on the UK charts. Now, Angie, you know this, like all in the UK, the singles were always separate from the records. And here in the United States, like if you got the first Pretty Things album, they included Rosalyn on the debut album. So they would reformulate or reformat the albums, for the US market. We're looking at pretty much all the UK releases right now. But that first album, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, it's really, kind of more of this, but
I think it's one of the strongest like R&B, British R&B albums of that time. Definitely one of the strongest ones. I definitely think it was stronger than even some of their rivals as far as R&B, because I think it was much more who they were compared to like other bands where, they started off in that and they, did imitations and then they became themselves through psychedelia, through blues rock, through hard rock.
Yeah. But it's well worth it, though. I don't think the Pretty Things have totally arrived yet. I think this next track we're going to play the track Midnight to Six Man. This came out in 1965. This was a non-album single, definitely proto-punk. Written by Phil May and Dick Taylor, the two founding members of the band. It's got a bluesy riff. I'm going to throw this out to everybody. If you can tell me who's playing piano on it, because it is you know who it is if you know any of this era from this.
I have a feeling.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. But this is Glenn Johns produced this session. All right, let's play it. We want to hear from you in the chat. I haven't even went to the chat yet because we're just yapping. Zeb goes Pretty Things. Anthony Ferraro says he is pretty. Well, we already know that. Christian, nice to see you. It's an early day, but we're here. Al, nice to see you. Yes, SF Sorrow is a great album. We're going to play a track off of it and play some more stuff. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's play the song Midnight to Six Man. We will circle back around, everybody. Let's do. All right, here we go. Any moment. There we go.
never see the people I know in the bright light of day. So how can I say that you're any friend of mine? See you anytime. I'm feeling fine. Midnight to 6. Well, that's my time. That's your time.
Holy man.
Oh,
Love that track. God dang, the energy that this band had.
That was them finding themselves in that R&B sound. And like, it was none other than Nicky Hopkins on the piano. This guy played session piano, session organ for everybody in the 60s. I still need to watch that documentary about him because I absolutely think he's an important part of rock and roll history.
Webb coming in with Parachute with a 9 out of 10. Well, we're going to get to that record. A lot of the critics thought that was their best record. We all like what we like, but a lot of people think that was the peak. Dave, nice to see you. Dave from Ohio. There he is right there. He's probably into Dave knows the pretty things, don't you, Dave? So anyway. All right. So anyway, this song, this is where I think they're really coming into their own, because it seems kind of dangerous, this track, kind of dangerous, and it does have a certain energy to it.
It reminds me a lot of Them's Gloria. That's what it reminds me a lot of.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah.
But, everybody was
in a good way.
In a good way. So anyway, that single, that was a lot better success. I think what did I say that got up to? That got up to what?
It made it into the top 40 this time. So
yeah, so they're getting better. Up. So anyway, after this, December 1965, they brought in another album out, Get the Picture. So you've got more originals on this. Of course, the thing with the Pretty Things, they had a lot of lineup changes, but still you had that energetic. They talk about urban life, rebellion. It's a lot more ambitious, though. I think some people think that it was a little bit more inconsistent because of the Rush production. I don't hear that. What's your thoughts on Get a Picture?
I like it better than the first one. And I think one of my favorite Pretty Things tracks just throughout their discography is Buzz the Jerk. I absolutely love that one. I really like that one. Just that fuzzy guitar kind of that riff at the beginning. It is so good. Like I hear it in my head as soon as I say the name of the song. I that's how memorable it is.
Takes you right to it. Whoa, Victor! Someone done here. Wait a minute. Someone here wants over $500 for original SF Sorrow. My goodness.
It's kind of like Northern Soul, like these rare albums. It kind of reminds me of Northern Soul with the rare albums and how much they can go for.
I think if you've got vinyl and you bought it cheap back in the day, I think now's the time to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about because I bought all this stuff in the 90s for nothing. And now these dollar records are now $20 records. Maybe I should unload it. I don't know. All right. So get the picture. I like it. I think they're getting better. It peaked at number 43 on the UK chart. It underperformed. The debut was performed better. All right. So we're going to go into the band is changing. We've got lineup shifts. We've got one more album under Fontana. They did the album Emotions. Thoughts on this one, Angie?
I think this one's kind of a bridge album. I wouldn't say it's as strong as the first two because I think this is really where they're trying to find themselves in this transitional period. But I would say if I had to pick a favorite song on this album, I really like Progress. Mm-hmm. I think that one was really good. It's very upbeat.
It's upbeat. I picked the track The Sun to play. Now, the thing about this album is that the band disowned it because this was contract. This was to fulfill their contract. And they put the album out. Well, they submitted the record to Fontana. Fontana thought it didn't have much to it it doesn't really have, it needed more production, I guess, was the complaint. So they went and added strings and various instrumentation to it. And the band totally was against it. Let's play the song The Sun. Now you're going to hear it's going to have the instrumentation. But man, it screams psychedelia. Mm-hmm. Phil May's vocals on this, I'm just saying. Listen to the guy. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, so let's play that track. And you get to hear the instrumentation. And the instrumentation doesn't bother me so much. Here we go. Let's play The Sun. Let me know what you think. Here we go.
The sun will cross the sky, you reach out, but it's too high, will you settle, will you settle, will you settle, will you settle, will you settle for that water touched by land, water touched by land. When the sun has passed you by in the darkness, you will cry, and your tears, and your tears, and your tears, and your tears, and your tears will be.
Of course, Webb, we're having pancakes and coffee.
Soaked up by the sand. It's been my fault, yes, mine from the start. If I told you, never fallen so hard, so hard. Yes, it's been my fault. The sun has passed you by in the darkness. You will cry, and your tears, 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 and your tears will be soaked up by the sand, soaked up by the sand. Touching on the land, soaked up by the sand,
It still goes. Oh, well, that song. A lot of the critics think that that's like the highlight from the record. I don't know. But you mentioned, what was the track that you mentioned before, Angie, that you really dug?
Progress. It is a bit more like psychedelic poppy. Yeah, it's a more poppy one. I think this is an interesting kind of psychedelic, to reference Pink Floyd, a psychedelic breakfast kind of song.
It is kind of that way. But I dig it. I love it. A lot of the people thought that this was like the perfect song because you've got that emotional depth from Phil. It just, for me, it's like one of those tracks on the record I could listen to over and over.
It makes me think a bit of the Moody Blues with their kind of symphonic sort of sound. Definitely like a bit of that. I get that in there, kind of a Nights in White Satin, not Nights in White Satin, but like the Days of Future Past.
Right. Oh yeah, and it predates that by, well, it predates it. So yeah, it's very similar to that. All right, cool. I dig it. All right, we're gonna go 1967 now. We're getting ready for the next era because the band gets off of Fontana. They get signed to Columbia. Well, they get signed to EMI, but the records come out on Columbia EMI. And we're going to look at a single. Now, this is one that Angie wanted to play, and I said, let's play it. We're trying to jam-pack tunes into this show. Defecting Gray.
Ooh, this one is a significant one in many ways.
Go ahead. Tell us about it, Angie.
Go ahead. So sound-wise, this is a proto-metal song. So before Black Sabbath, before Led Zeppelin, before Uriah Heep, before Deep Purple, this was heavy metal. This was before Helter Skelter even.
Yeah.
Like, in that way, it was very significant. There's these little guitar solos there. It gets all heavy and distorted. And then also there's a bit of gay history in this song as well, because it's a song about cruising in the park. And gray is a term that's kind of your middle class 9-to-5, works in an office, wears a gray suit. So that was a term that they would use in the 60s. Ray Davis used that term gray on the song Last of the Steam Powered Trains from Village Green Preservation Society, kind of a contemporary song that was in 68. But yeah, it was just, and then this guy just is tired of this gray life. And he's like, what if I cross over and I walk on the wild side, if you will? A little Lou Reed reference. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's play it. Now, this is quite a drastic change, man. This is total psychedelia. So, and wait a minute, this was, November 67. So, SF Sorrow hadn't come out yet. These were all in the same sessions, though. So, all right, let's play it. Wait till if you haven't heard this, just wait. This is great.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. If it ever starts playing. Here we go. Let's check this out.
Grave of goodbye. Blind sky hangs in blackness, blind threads, patterns weaving. Somebody going tells you they are
just don't like snakes. They are just no friend of mine. Seen it all, but you're forgetting. You passed it by, but you're not going. You've had it all before you're gone. You see them dying now, they're all alone. Sitting alone on a bench with you, dipping my eyes in the stream. Breath from your lips chases shadows away, clearing the mist from our dream. Sitting alone on a bench with you, just as you get up to leave. Holding my breath as I touch your hand, left with the brush of your sleeve.
The Pretty Things with Disinfecting Gray, 1967.
Yeah.
Dang, that is very disjointed. Very. Did you get any more psychedelic?
Prog even, like there's like all the time signature changes, the different movements in the song, the way that it just changes from, oh yeah, here's this like sitar bit. Like it's everything about the 60s rolled up into one, because sitars were all over the place in this era. Every band was just putting sitars in their music, and I just love the incorporation of it. The other day I was doing a podcast about the sitar in 60s rock music, and yeah, it's just great that this song appeared, because I just love the sound of the sitar, and I just love that heavy metal bit. It just sounds like a bad acid trip, and I love it.
I mean, they were, but what a you listen to the track off Emotions, you listen to this, is like two different things.
It's a different band entirely. And I can see why this contributed to their lack of kind of commercial success. Is you cannot replicate this on stage. You cannot do that. And that's the failure of SF Sorrow. It was very much a studio album, much like your Sgt. Pepper and all your late Beatles albums. Those were studio albums. You couldn't do those live. It just wouldn't have it really. It's impossible to do.
So this was produced. See, when they went over to, ladies and gentlemen, when they went over to EMI, Norman Smith, who did a lot of the Beatles stuff, Norman Smith produced the Pink Floyd Piper. I think he did.
It's very Piper. Like it just makes me think of Lucifer Sam. It makes me think of, oh my God, Arnold Lane a bit too.
Let's here we go. Let's play another track. Now we're in that psychedelic era. Let's play another single, Walking Through My Dreams. This came out in February 68. Angie also wanted to play this track. Angie, you want to talk about that a bit?
This one is just psychedelic as fuck. I just love this one. It's just a very different sound from Defecting Gray. It's a bit like, it is very, very psychedelic, a bit heavy, but not as heavy as this. It's not very metal at all. It just sounds really dreamy, but psychedelic. And I just like this one. I like the poetry of the lyrics. I think that's something that we should definitely appreciate a lot more, is just the poetry and the lyrics. And like another thing I want to say about Phil May and how great he was on the SF Sorrow album, he did the cover art. That was him. Like, he was an art student, much like a lot of the Stones. They were art students, and that's really like, you know, a lot of where rock and roll came from in Britain in the 60s was those art schools.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to SF Sorrow here in a moment. Let's play Walking Through My Dreams. Again, I want to hear what you think about this song in the chat. We're just trying to turn, Angie and I are just trying to turn you on to stuff. So hopefully you want to go out and check out more Pretty Things, because it just seems like they're one of those bands that I don't want to say they're forgotten, but out of all these British bands in the 60s and the British invasion era, they just don't get enough. They just don't get enough love. All right, let's keep it moving. Here we go. Walking Through My Dreams. Oh, wait a minute. I turned the volume down. Hold on. User error once again by me. You know, there's a lot of spinning plates on my end, Angie. A lot of spinning plates.
Yep.
So sometimes I screw up, and Webb can vouch for me that I do screw up a lot. If I could get it queued up. Hold on.
Yeah, another factor of like the pretty things like lack of success really was in the US they were signed to Motown, which was more of an R&B label, which may have been more suitable for their earlier stuff, but SF Sorrow was released on Motown in the US, and I don't think much of the, you know, demographic buying Motown would have really been into this. Sure, some would have.
Yeah. No, it did. It did.
Marketing, really.
It was a failure. All right, here we go.
And also, it was a depressing album, and it was 68.
When I'm unhappy and in my eyes things are bad, I just have to close them all and suddenly I'm glad. Walking through my dreams at night, you're walking through my dreams at night. Walking through my dreams and I'm not free. I never worry 'cause I never get the time. You sweep all thoughts away when you cross my mind. Walking through my dreams at night, you're walking through my dreams at night. Walking through my dreams and I'm not free. Dreams at night, walking through my dreams and I'm not free. Won't lift my sleepy head in case the vision goes. Here in purple velvet now where time and motion slows. Walking through my dreams at night, you're walking through my dreams at night. Walking through my dreams and I'm not free. Walking through my dreams at night, you're walking through my dreams at night. Walking through my dreams and I'm not free.
believe, but that was a B side and not the A side.
This was
Unbelievable.
one of their best songs.
One of their best songs.
Oh, easily. Like, oh my
This
God.
was what the single was talking about, the good times. This is February 68, but this was the B side. Damn.
I almost think that this should have been included in SF Sorrow, like after, you know, Sorrow's wife dies in the Zeppelin accident. Like, because I could just imagine her walking through his dreams. That almost should have been included in this. And I kind of feel that same way about Days, a Kinks single from 68 that I wish was on Village Green. Because I think that would have made it an even better album. Like, that's already a perfect album, but I'm like, it would have been better if you included Days, because that is easily one of my favorite Kinks songs. This is easily one of my favorite Pretty Things songs.
There you go, Angie nailed it.
Oh,
but you know what? But I listen to this track and I'm going, how could these guys not be bigger than they were? Why doesn't anybody really know this stuff? I'm just baffled by it, because it's just so great. Don't you think this is great, everybody in the chat? Gee, many Christmas. Yeah, I know. I was born in the wrong era.
Same, like big time. Like, I wish I was born 50 years earlier.
I've never heard this music. Very cool. Yes, it's freaking cool. So the next thing, we're in FS Sorrow. This came out, gosh, when did this? Late 68.
Yep. And this was a depressing year of the 60s. This was right before Christmas of 68. Like, this was not long after White Album. So they had a lot of albums they were competing with. White Album, Village Green. Those two came out on the same day. You had Astral Weeks, and then you had Odyssey and Oracle, which is one that should have done better. I definitely think if I had to pick my favorite out of all of those, it's so tough. And even though this is the Pretty Things episode, I think Odyssey and Oracle is my favorite of all of those.
Well,
absolutely love that one.
You wouldn't have Tommy if you didn't have this record.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is a great album too. Like,
Pete Townsend's always mentioned this record, that this was one of the inspirations, though we know on the quick one, he started out there with the rock opera thing. He has the Genesis, but this,
and then you can't forget the Who Sell Out. That was kind of a concept album with the whole like radio jingles in between.
Yeah, I love that record. My favorite.
And then kind of the whole radio thing was also kind of a rock opera too, in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they were on Motown with this kind of vibe, audiences in the States were never exposed to them or confused.
I mean, to be fair, they had a sub-label called Rare Earth. I think that's where they put their rock acts. Yeah.
Who else was on Rare Earth? I have no idea.
Rare Earth?
Rare Earth? Like, that was it. So anyway, let's dive into FS Sorrow. We're going to play the track Private Sorrow. So I will mention this version of the band. We haven't talked about the lineup changes, but on FF Sorrow, Twink joined the band. So if you know Twink, great drummer. In fact, he's on the. We'll be playing some other tracks. Just hold tight. But Twink's on this, and if you've ever seen the video, there's if you go on YouTube, there's a video from, I think, a French TV show, and they're playing this on the TV show. And Twink is out in front in white face like a miming to the song. You've gotta see it, because all you watch is Twink doing his mime thing. And I read something by Phil May, and Phil was going, yeah, Twink was in his miming phase then. So he wanted to be out front miming. Go check that out, but not yet. We're going to play the song.
It's really good. It's definitely worth the watch.
But I love this whole period. I love it. All right, let's play FSR. Let's play Private Sorrow. We want to know what you think if you haven't heard it. And you know how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Like I said, let us know what you think. This is just phenomenal. This whole record.
Heaven's rain
chases out the children who look skyward, twisting metal through the air, scars and screams so you might know it's fury. Seashells whistle, let your mind drift away. Seashells whistle, let yourself hide away. Men walking tall, looking so small, green trees of light disappearing, mouthing the sounds, face cutting the ground, like the lips of command. Join the heart, you're playing a part. Courage it is so demanding. Loud rousing bands, marching through land. Life stretching band is near. Heaven's army falls upon the skirts of Mother Earth and then
Well, it's a failed concept album. Kinda. It's kinda a concept album.
twisting wings through the air. Lift the soul so you might know his fury. Seashells whistle, let your mind drift away. Seashells whistle, let yourself hide away. Dressed in white silk rain, bury the pains you can hear the church, bright steel. A new morning arrives, share the same skies, I'm murdering a lamp for the peace. As the memory fades on the edge of a blade, you return, you're sure that you will. From the frame in your hand, a smile expands, hang from a thread of glass tears.
Dennis Arthur Smith, listed missing. Corporal John Charles Edward Smith, killed in action. Private Jonathan Leslie Smith, listed missing. Lance Corporal Nigel Smith, listed missing. Private Paul Smith,
Here you go. Jeez. So good.
I just love the changes in just the type of music, just the tempo, everything. Like I like the drums, like the old military drums. It's very good.
But the whole record's good, and I don't think that this this didn't sell either. I don't know. But the Pretty Things were like one of those bands that more like musicians. They're like a musician's band because the
Velvet
public,
Underground, that kind of
Underground.
type of band.
100%. So anyway, go check that record out. Any of these records, I think you could start anywhere, and I think it'd be good. Maybe not Emotions. I mean, I like it. The band didn't like it, but I think that this is the crowning achievement. I think this record is the pinnacle. Some people think Parachute is, but we'll get there. You let us know what you think. Zeb, I don't think I've heard the mono mix of this album ever. Too bad it cuts off. Next song is amazing too. Well, yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, Balloon Burning has that heavy metal sound to it.
Right.
And it's like the most depressing song on the album because he's just hoping to see his wife. She's coming to America to join him, and then boom, Hindenburg disaster happens. I do like the historical references in this album, just like Tommy has those historical references, the references to World War I, because I think World War II is a bit too close to home for these guys. So go back a bit further, World War I, it's easier to write about.
Yeah. 100%. All right, let's keep moving. So now we're in 1969 now. Like I said, this band had to do side projects to make money. They were always in financial crisis. So they started to record a library music as the Electric Banana for Wolfe, and they used a lot of this stuff in films. You can go out and look out on YouTube and you can find this stuff, but they did release this stuff out on vinyl, and there is a box set that came out on Cherry Red that's got the complete DeWolf sessions, all the Electric Banana stuff that they recorded. So,
and they had the whole Philippe DeBarge thing where this French guy who really liked him, he was like this trust fund baby. He was like, can I just go and record an album with these guys and I'll just house them in the south of France and record with them? I thought that was just such a cool thing. I'm like, shoot, if I was a rich person, that's the kind of thing I'd do. Screw having a yacht, screw having a private jet, record with your favorite band. That's the way to go. That's a good use of money.
So you're probably thinking, well, does this sound like the Pretty Things, or does it sound like a different band? No, if you listen to this stuff, there's psychedelia on it. This is psychedelic. This is like one of my favorite tracks.
I love this one. Absolutely love this one. The video's great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Let's just play it. Let's play it. Let us know what you think down below. You may want to go out and check this out. This is still in print on Cherry Red if you want to go get it. Anyway, that's what this is off of. So the rip is off the Cherry Red. All this stuff was mixed in mono. I don't think that there's any stereo mixes of it. Let's play it. Let us know what you think. Yeah, It'll Never Be Me by the Electric Banana. Pretty Things.
Sad eyes turn away from the looking glass. Fingers trace the lines of the years that pass. Smears of lies upon the lips of someone standing by. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way. Mother keeps the photograph of a child that's dead. The child of the fading name that's never said. Bright fantasies of the child's life are spinning around this mother's head. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way. Face presses against the window of an early train. Arms twist out the message of unspoken pain. You wipe away a tear and then it starts to rain. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way. No, it'll never be me. Looking at you that way.
This track. So go out on YouTube. You can find it. Look up the Electric Banana and look up "It'll Never Be Me" and you'll find it. And Twink's playing drums on it. You can tell Twink is a great drummer, but the Pretty Things always had good drummers. But go check out that. I forget what film that's from. It's just from some psychedelic cheapy
Probably
bad.
something low budget, but yeah, it's really good.
But check it out. I love all this stuff. And the thing is, there's like 3 CDs on here, and there's instrumental versions of the songs. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Just check it out. It's worth picking up if you like. If you're sold on the Pretty Things and you're a completionist, you've got to have it, because it's not like they were giving away like subpar songs, because when I listen to it, it sounds just like anything else. Go check it out. So anyway, yes. So we had lean times. We're trying to make money. And then Dick Taylor decided he was going to quit. So he quit. They replaced him with another guitar player. You can go out and find out more of this. So they put out one more record with Norman Smith producing. Well, they had more albums, but this still pretty much had the same lineup for the most part, as the Electric Banana stuff. Though there's no Twink, because Twink went on to where did he go?
Fairies? He was working with Sid Barrett too.
Fairies. He started Pink Fairies.
Tomorrow. Was he in Tomorrow with Steve Howe?
He was, but that was before. He was in Tomorrow, then he joined the Pretty Things, and then he went on to Pink Fairies. So, all right, the album Parachute. Let's start off with that. We're talking June 1970. Thoughts on this one, Angie?
It's a really good album. I think I like SF Solo the best, but they have some great songs on this. I think my favorite, if I had to pick, I think there's 2 favorites. Grass, which ironically has a 4-minute, 20-second length. I wonder if they did that on purpose. And then She's a Lover, I think, is my favorite on this album. I really like She's a Lover.
Yeah. I picked the track. We're going to play the track Rain. So it's kind of a gritty, bluesy rocker. I see a departure from this stuff. Maybe it was because he's not in the band anymore. Maybe that had a big change in their sound. I don't know. But still, this still has bits of psychedelia on it. Well, we'll just play it. Let's just play it, and you guys decide if you like it or not. All right. Grant, get your buttons together. All right, let's play Rain off of Parachute. Again, this is 1970. This is on Harvest. Let me know what you think, and we will circle back around, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. a little rain. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Rain by the Pretty Things, 1970. I mean, it still has that psychedelic, tinge to it. I mean, it's kind of a continuation. The whole record's good. It's a lot more acoustic, I think, as opposed to.
And I even hear some Beatle-esque kind of sounds in it too. Like, I think as time goes by, they do incorporate a lot of Beatles influences, and I like that.
Yeah, it's I really like the sound on it too. The production's really great. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this record didn't do anything. This was another failed record. But after this, they revamped the band. It was basically the Phil May band. I'm not really, I shouldn't say that. It's still the Pretty Things, but they kind of revamped their style. But we're only looking at everything. Was Parachute is Tommy influenced a bit. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure if I'd agree with that. It's an interesting thought.
Gilmour cited this record as an influence, possibly.
Wouldn't surprise me. Also, Hypnosis did the cover of this album, and Hypnosis were very good friends with Pink Floyd.
Zeb goes, now you guys got to do Pretty Things 1970 to 2020, maybe down the road.
Yeah, I'd like to.
I understand, Webb. Well, we're all here talking music. That's all that matters.
Sure.
That's all that matters.
I mean, there's no right or wrong opinions. I think it's all, up to your interpretation. That's the fun of art.
Yep. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think Angie and I have found our proper format for this series, because we're just going to go as long as Angie wants to keep coming back.
It's a pleasure. I absolutely love being on the show. I love talking about rock and roll. I have a lot of fun doing this.
All right. I will get Angie back on again. This is the format. We'll do a live show on Sunday morning. Just like, of course, it's afternoon where Angie is. She's in the UK, but we'll have her back next month, and we'll have another band. I think next month I'd like to look at the Animals, or maybe we could do the Zombies. Either one. Whatever, Angie.
Either or. I mean, we could do both. Like,
I'm gonna let Angie choose what we talk about. It's fine with me.
I'm happy to do the Zombies next, and then we can go to the Animals. I think they're all great. Like, you can't go wrong with 60s British rock and roll.
No. We'll do the Zombies next. All right, everybody. I got another show on Brendan Schneider's fan channel. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, check out Angie's book. And though I don't have time to plug it, I'll put the information down below.
Thanks.
She will be back next month. Check out some Pretty Things.
Yeah,
and let us know
you'll like my book if you like true crime and rock and roll, or if you like one or the other. Well, if you also like true crime,
we got a minute. Go ahead and plug it real quick, Angie. It's good.
Yeah. My book is called Crime of the Century, Classic Rock and True Crime, and it has over 20 true stories about how rock stars either encountered murderers or became murderers themselves. So, yeah, it goes from the band and Jack Ruby all the way to Phil Spector murdering Lana Clarkson.
And where can they get this?
So you can get a copy on my website, crazyonclassicrock.com. I sell signed copies there. I can even personalize them for you. And if you want, I can even get my cat to sign them for you. My cat's name is Bowie.
Damn, I'm sold then. I want one with the cat signing it.
Oh my God. Cool. Yeah.
Probably a very popular thing.
Yeah, I had a friend who suggested it, and yeah, we did it for them, and we've done it for a lot of people. And I really love just being able to just share my work with the world and have my cat be part of that journey too.
Awesome. Oh, Zeb says the Trogs.
There's some good ones there.
We can do the Trogs. We can do the Trogs, Zeb. I think the Trogs, probably a good idea, because the Trogs, who gives the Trogs any love anymore? We'll do the Trogs.
Maybe Dozy, Beaky, Mick, and Titch would be a fun one to do as well. And they were good friends with the Trogs because they were from like the same area.
Well, I don't think Angie and I are going to run out of any material.
Oh, there's tons.
New format for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if this works for you. We will be back next month with the Zombies. Please like, subscribe. Angie, I will see. I will be and I'll be talking to you. All right, we'll see everybody. Have a good one.